One thing, you want to let them know that you have questions?
I got a slip out.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for being here. Like your shirt too. Patrick? As well, okay. All right. Mr. Hudson, you brought your questions as well, right? Okay. All right, outstanding. So if anyone, we're going to hit some specific questions. We're going to hit the questions that were on the agenda for the candidates. Then it's open to the public that you can ask what questions you want. Just please be nice to them. We're trying to make sure that we're helping them so that when the season comes, that they're prepared to answer just about anything. So we can have some curveballs in there if you would like, but I don't think the candidates would exactly appreciate it.
No, we gotta get used to curveball, man.
But let's do the mayoral side first, and then I'll turn it over to Marilyn and Kim.
Okay. Mayoral candidates, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. Who wants to speak first?
Don't everyone speak up at once.
Always a good idea to go first.
I'll go
We set the mic up differently this time. People kept walking on the cord. It doesn't do any good. So we set it up where you don't walk on the cord. All right. Question. How would you respond if you observed an elected official being disrespectful to a constituent?
Probably the same way I would treat anybody or respond to them is to see that it's going to treat anybody like that. Bottom line, it doesn't change in my mind. First off, if it was in a silent, closed area, we would talk about what's going on, try to calm them down. But if anybody's disrespectful to anybody, I don't like that. Okay, seriously. Whether you're Republican, Independent, Democrat, it's people shouldn't treat each other like that. So if there was something that didn't stop the House, I'll take time when it was over with, sit down with them and ask if in any way we could help them out, or could we help them figure out what's going on. So that's the way I handle it.
Thank you.
What's your next question?
Next question. What qualifications or experiences do you believe are necessary to effectively lead a team managing a multi-million-dollar budget?
That's a very good question. First off, anything you try to run or be a manager of or a leader in, you've got to get to know the people. You got to you got to hear what they've got to say. You've got to ask them what they think needs changing, what can make us better. If you were king or queen for a day, what would you stop doing? What would you start doing? And I think if you get to know people like that, the rest of it, if they know you're supporting them and you want to hear what they've got to say, I think that's a good way to do it, to start off. Whether it's a $5,000 company or several millions. I do think you have to have some engineering, not engineering, but your ingenuity, that you can listen to things. If it's good reason to change something, if we delve down in it, then we probably will do it. You tell them why it's not fiscally responsible to do it. And also you need to know the balance sheets. You don't need to guess on these things. You got to know your financials. And you don't want to have a lot of others in the finances reports. You just got to know what's going on. And if you don't understand it all, you go to somebody that maybe put it in there and you ask them what was going on and get to know each other again. And I think there's an easy way to do it, but it's not easy to do all the time. That's number 2.
What is your perspective on individuals who move to the community and then decide to run for public office, such as yourself?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think I would do something good for the county, find out about the county, what's going on, whether they were born here from day one or they moved in from another part of Tennessee like we have. I've been here 8 years and get to look around and find out what people are saying is good about the place and bad about the place, and maybe things that we could do better or a little worse or stop doing. And I've got one thing there, if I could, Suzanne, let me see my little book. One of our people in the county sent this to me because he said, I'm tired of hearing everything bad about Marion County. I'd like to send you something to read if you have an opportunity to. So I'll take that, be real short. Also wanted to let you know, being the JHFD Fire Department, something I really like about Marion County is the brotherhood, professionalism, volunteerism, and camaraderie of all the firefighters in the county. Regular guys and gals, going to work, school, raising family, living and building a busy life, mostly younger adults. No matter if you're from South Pittsburgh, Jasper, Whitwell, New Hope, Battle Creek, Crossroads, Jasper Highlands, South Pittsburgh, Mountain, Mount Eagle, Helltown, Sequatchie, all the departments support each other up here for this great county we live in with enthusiasm and mutual aid. If departments need help in an emergency situation, they don't hesitate to call for help. And I tell you, the cavalry arrives with manpower and equipment. You cannot put a price of that kind of volunteer. So grateful. This is a little piece that makes very the selfless sacrifice of these people throughout the county trying to help the county get better. I don't think I could have said that any better. That's a firefighter up in the mountain there. Any others?
Are you familiar with Robert's Rules of Order?
I am. Yes, ma'am. I have to stick to them in my association.
Okay, I have a question.
All right.
Which takes precedence, point of order or point of personal privilege?
That's a good question.
I've never seen that in Robert's Rules of Order that I've gone through. So, would you like to help me with that?
Study up on it.
I'll do it. All right. I appreciate it.
Good question. I'll let anyone on the outside, for the mayor,
Anybody have a question?
Mr. Blevins, do you have any questions? Okay. There we go.
There's been a lot in the news lately about all these data centers that are moving to this area because of the, cheap electricity and the plentiful source of water. And I personally know of one over in Cherokee County, North Carolina, over around Murphy. It creates a lot of noise and has driven all the wildlife away. They usually put them in the middle of nowhere because of all the noise pollution, which they say that doesn't happen, but it actually does. But most of these companies that do these are from either up in New England or California. And they're used to it was mining Bitcoins. Now it's artificial intelligence. So do you think the county should enact some regulations to prevent this happening from Marion County? Because it's already happening in Dalton, Georgia, and I just think it's a bad thing because the county is pretty much wide open as far as zoning goes. So up there on, the mountains or anywhere down here, there's nothing to stop anybody from buying some property and sticking one in those, So what are your thoughts on that?
First of all, one of the things you just talked about is no zoning. And that's a key issue, what I want to try to get behind and find out what's going on. Because I agree with you, it scared me to death to have some of these people who live beside me. I think that there's a proper place for AI. There's also some things I'm scared to death about it. And one of them you just brought up. The states I've lived in, different states, but I'm born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee. They are not finding it as wonderful as they might thought it was going to be when they first came. It brings jobs in the area, but at what cost? And I'm really nervous about it, to be honest with you. So I'd have to study more, but we got to get that planning thing done before we can even fight something like that. That's my personal opinion.
Joey?
Yes, there's been some talk about a possible, what's your opinion about a paper mill coming into this county?
This county would not have enough, to my point, I've been in the paper industry since 1980. And I would ask them to possibly go somewhere else and find their workers here. And also there's all kind of companies that come in to support those paper industries. And I see them all the time. We could have support groups in this county, in this area, that would be very good for the industry, but not have a full-blown paper mill, quite frankly, because right now the water thing scares me to death. We got to figure that out way soon. This is a guy that loves the industry. We're very green industry, but man, you can't just plug one of those suckers in and suck all the water out here. The new ones that are going in actually take the water out of the river and put it back in cleaner than it left the river. But we're not there yet.
That's why I was asking you. I've heard some rumors about that. At the last dinner that we had, meeting down in South Pittsburgh, I took in that you were from that industry.
I am from the industry.
I wanted to get your opinion about it.
Well, you just heard it. I know a lot of these people, but the side businesses that can come in won't do near the damage to your natural resources as full-blown paper mill would do.
Sir, what is your background?
I'm retiring in December 31st of this year. I've been in the paper industry since 1980, which lasted almost 20 years. I run an international association that does the standards for the whole world of paper, how it's made. That little BMC box maker certificate on the bottom of your Amazon box, that's what the TAPI standards. It's called ECT, Edge Crust Test. And we do the color of the paper, the strength of them, what you put in it, what you take out of it, what you don't use. It's come a long way in many, many years, but I've been in it for 20, just at the job I am now, which is president and CEO of TAPI, Technical Association for the Pulp and Paper Industry. And one of the cool things I love about being in this area is the live lolly pines you see everywhere. And that was a TAPI committee back in 1970, 73, I think it was. And they got a group of scientists and paper makers from all over the world who came in, and they said, what would be your perfect tree in this industry? What would it be? They said, would it be a type of pine they were looking for? It would grow straight up, shed its own limbs, and self-seed itself. And all you have is a little canopy up there you have to worry about when they come in to log it. And that's what we got up here on this mountain right here in Mississippi. They're all over the country, by the way, but I love living up here with all these live lolly pines. That a company I'm with now, actually guys that were there way before me came up with that idea to help this industry.
Okay, and are
We
you
have
from here?
to, excuse me just for a minute, we're gonna have to really speed it up because we have to give other people a
All right, real
chance.
quick, so I came from a small town, okay, relatively small, and then within 10, 15 years, it grew exponentially. And I was a police officer in this town when it was small and growing. And as it grew, it went through birthing pains and stuff. And the biggest problem we had was emergency services. The city services couldn't keep up with the growth because of budgeting, equipment, financing for equipment, clothing, etc. So the police ratio to the population was way down. The firemen also had issues. Public service had issues. EMS had issues. I foresee growth in this county in the next 5 to 6 years that are going to create some of the same kind of concerns and pains. What would you do to preempt that so the county doesn't suffer the pains of shortness of officers or firefighters or EMS?
That's a very good question. Very tough to say while you're just standing up here and we're talking about, you and I are talking about. But what I've seen is a good sample of what it can be. Just read that from one of the volunteer fire department folks that talked about the mutual aids. That's helped a lot of that. People aren't dying like they were. The mutual aid folks that were doing this in this beautiful county of ours could also go with the police officers as well. We got some great, it's so funny to me, growing up where I have and towns I've lived in, you see all these different towns coming in with these police cars or whatever we call them, Ford Explorers and that kind of thing, kind of helping each other all the time. So I see it, what it could be, in a sampling of what I see right now the past 8 years in Marion County. And the growth, if we're talking about just house building and things like that, that's one kind of growth. We got a lot of that going on now, but the other part is, if we have some smaller growth, where we're bringing in other types of industries that can accelerate the big companies that don't even have a plant here, things like that. But you know, it takes taxes, it takes money to do all this you're talking about. But again, if we could just see just a glimpse of that, is what I've already read about the guys that are helping each other in different towns on emergencies, then I think that's kind of what it could be like.
Okay, one more question, because we have to give other folks an opportunity. I know you've been waiting at that, but before we start, hang on just a second if you would. Senator Gardenhauer has blessed us with being here. Let's give him a round of applause. So thank you for coming. This is answers and questions and things of that nature.
No, this is how it's going to be here.
But if you want to get up here and talk too, you can, so just let us know. Okay, go ahead. And if we can be quick.
Mr. Montague, what do you
Maybe
do about the lack of transparency in Marion County?
Absolutely, I'm scared to death of that.
Scared? What are you going to do about it?
Well, a whole lot of stuff is. We heard something from last night. I wasn't here, but I've been talking about it for a long time. The transparency and also the ethics. And I've already talked to a professional ethics teacher that lives here in Marion County. She goes to corporate offices like some I've been to when I've been in the corporate world. And also universities like Auburn, you know, teaching these folks like that. So we've got to get our head around this ethics thing. And we've got to do things like, I would love to see an agenda for these when I come in here. You know, what's going on. And the other thing I'd like to see is this. If a guy gets up there and balls his head off about water, not going where it's supposed to be, I don't know if you were here in that commission meeting, but, you know, somebody's gotta answer those questions. What happened after that? And there was a couple of others about, misappropriation of funds and things of this thing. So we've said it out loud, but when do we always follow up with? We gotta know these things. So that's the way I feel about it. Coming in here the last 8 years, listening and taking notes. And again, the people that I asked, the best way to get to know each other is ask them how they feel about it and what we can do different about it. So that's what it's.
Thank you.
Larry, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
If you would repeat the same question you asked Larry, if you, the same thing with Travis.
Okay, Travis, how would you respond if you observed an elected official being disrespectful to a constituent?
First of all, I don't need a microphone off reach, so I'm pretty loud, so, and Corey knows this. Good to see you, Corey. Okay. I believe we all should be, respectful of one another. I don't think they should be disrespectful to anybody, especially if you're a, public service or you're elected official, however, you wanna say it, but, I think you ought to be able enough to talk normal. You should have a good conversation. You should be able enough to communicate without putting profanity or anything out there. I'm one who does not like anybody to start off profanity. I think once you do cross that line, you've lost it. You have no point to make once you start using profanity. So I believe as a public official, you should be respectful. If you can't do that, then you don't need to be holding office.
Okay, thank you. What qualifications or experiences do you believe are necessary to effectively lead a team managing a multi-million-dollar budget?
Communication and teamwork. I think you have to have good communication with your team, and you gotta have good teamwork. Y'all gotta work together. You gotta respect one another, come up with solutions, come up with problem solving. I heard this, that, you know, about a good leader is not in charge. He cares for the one that he is in charge of. So you have to work together, you know, and all of it don't go to one person. It's a team effort. If you work on a team, it's a team effort. Not one person gets the glory, everybody does. And if you're a leader of that team, you really are not the one that gets the glory. It's the people who's working with you, you know, and it goes the same way. If there's a problem come up, accountability. The person that's the leader, he needs to take the accountability. It falls on him.
Okay, thank you. What is your perspective on individuals who move to the community and then decide to run for public office?
Whether you've lived here a lifetime or whether you just moved here, if you're qualified to run by the state of Tennessee, put your name on the ballot. You know, they have qualifications. The state of Tennessee tells you, you know, what you're qualified for. If you are qualified, put your name on the ballot. We love to see people come in with good ideals. If you have good ideals, hey, the more the merrier. But you have to be qualified. And I don't see a problem with that. If you want to run, run. That's just the way it is.
The order of, oh Lord. Who asked the first question?
Robert's Rules of Order.
What's that?
She asked at Robert's Rules of Order.
Ah, yeah, but that one was on, that wasn't fair. I didn't know what the heck you were talking about. Okay, yeah, could you ask your question?
Sure. My question was about the AI centers, as you know, the data mining centers that are coming to this part. Yeah, how it would affect our environment. Because of the peak power. Yes, it's like this. Marion County, most people move here into Marion County because they like the area. They like our mountains. They like the river that's down here. They love to see the scenery. If you bring in a lot of stuff, and I'll tell you right now, I work in a business where I see a lot of overdevelopment happening. With that lot of overdeveloping is also running out the wildlife, and people wonder why they see bears running up and down the main street. Well, your answer is because you're taking into their homes. You're destroying all that they have. So where else are they gonna go? It's not their fault. You know who the fault it lies on? Us. Because what's the world run on? Money. I've heard a lot of people come to these meetings and say, oh, my family farm and all this. Well, I wanna tell you something. I've seen it over in Hamilton County because I've worked over there for a lot of years, and I worked in a business where I've seen, families, after the main mom and dad passes away, the kids don't wanna run the farm no more. So guess what happens? Some big developer comes in, swoops in, gets the land, and guess what happens then? You got subdivisions.
Yeah.
So in order to protect it, I think it's what we gotta do is we gotta have some kind of zoning.
Okay, Mr. Barnett?
Same question, in about 5, 6, 8 years, so see the county expanding, how do you propose a budget to increase the number of officers, firefighters, and
I
keep
think-
up with the growth?
I think we gotta bring everybody together, and we gotta sit down at a table. We've got to do that now. We can't do that 5 or 6 years down the road. Again, I go back to my experience of where I work at. I've seen Hamilton County and all the little cities around explode since 2020. They have got so big that they had to stop building because the infrastructure couldn't hold the building that they were gonna do. So you have to plan now for the future. You can't wait till it gets here and then all of a sudden go, oh, well, what happened? Well, you can't do that. You gotta look further and further ahead. You gotta at least look for 10, 15 years, 20 years down the road. You can't look for the next election, whether you're gonna keep your seat or not. You've got to look now. We should be having a plan and having it in place and working on it now.
Mr. Hudson?
Mr. Lee, you know what I'm gonna ask you, don't you? Lack of transparency in Marion County government.
I think I've been pretty vocal about what I think about that. As even I said it back in 2022 when I ran. I'm gonna be, me planning on running for mayor, I'm gonna be a mayor that is fully transparent. You're gonna know what we voted on. You're gonna know after the meeting, the next day, we're gonna have some kind of, mainstream, we're gonna stream it live, we're gonna have it all different. We're not gonna do like we've always heard, where it's always been said, and I know a lot of you've heard this, we've always done it that way. Well, we always done it that way is not working. So you're gonna know, you're gonna have information. I'm gonna be a mayor who's gonna come to you, I'm gonna come to where you are. I plan on having district meetings with each of the districts, and having the commissioners of those districts goes along with me right after the meeting. We're gonna do one every other month. Now, a lot of you probably say, hey, that's too much. No, it's not, because you want to know the information. Guess what? You are the people who employs us. You are our boss. You tell us what to do. It's not the other way around, and I think over the years, it's became that. Not only on a local level, but in all levels of government, it has happened. You should be able enough to go to your representative, your senator, your congressman, the president of the United States, and be able to ask that question. They shouldn't be scared to answer your question. And listen, if you don't know the answer, just say, hey, I don't know the answer, but I'll get back to you on that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Brandt. Marilyn, I'm gonna refrain from participation here due to bona fide status. So until we work that out, I'm here to observe. So maybe that'll save a little time, but thank you anyway for the offer.
Emily and Mr. Myers, so you get with them and get.
That's right.
Okay, and if you need my help, I already wrote them a letter,
Right,
so.
okay, thank you, I appreciate that.
No, it's fine. Okay, thank you, Patrick, I appreciate that. So we'll go still countywide, let's go with Wayne Quarles. Now, he's going for trustee, which is would you explain exactly what the trustee does?
Yes.
This is Wayne Quarles.
I'm Wayne Quarles, and I'm running for Marion County trustee. Trustee is pretty much the caretaker of the finances for the county, making sure that our buildings gets invested. You're also working, bringing money back from the state and how it's allocated back to make sure it goes to the right locations that it's supposed to be for grants and things like that. So you're collecting property taxes, a lot of different things that went on, but it's all financially related, is what it is. So I refer to it as being more the caretaker, of the finances for the county. That's the simple answer. There's a lot of different pieces inside of it, but
Obviously, he doesn't have the same battles that a commissioner or the mayor has, so we're not gonna do that to you. Is there any questions, for Mr. Quarles as far as what the trustee does?
What's your current occupation right now?
There's multiples. I actually work in a bank. I'm an IT person that works in a bank that's classically trained to be an accountant. And I have a tax office as well that I ran for 10 years with my partner. So even though I have a little bit of a dysfunctional skill set, it really does fit what that position needs as far as a financial background. I've worked in CPA firms, so I've seen a lot of different things. I've been controllers at different places as well, and then just kind of rolled into an IT environment. So it's a little odd to have both of those together, but at the same time, it's a nice blend to have, because not only can you help from a financial standpoint, whether you're talking about debt service or different things going on, as we're talking about growth and different things, you can also help kind of as technology grows, and that's with data centers and things that have been talked about here with the other questions. I think it just leads for a nice perspective. I mean, I've lived here my whole life, so I want to be a caretaker of this place. I don't plan on going anywhere. I've been in the civic organization since I was 21 years old. Lived through Robert's Rules of Order with a lot of meetings that we've had. So done a lot of different, a lot of different things. I think this is an opportunity for me to help the county move forward with my background and my skill set.
Well, thank you very much.
Am I done?
You have a song do you want to do, or?
No song, no dance.
Darn it. Okay, so we'll go on to commissioners. Okay, so who wants to go first as a commissioner? I knew it. Come on up, Paul. Paul Schaefer, District 3.
Snack it on the job, huh?
Go ahead, Marilyn, let him have it.
All right. How would you respond if you observed an elected official being disrespectful to a committee, to a constituent?
I would call the chairman for a point of order and ask that we respect all citizens in their opinions. We might not agree with them, but we need to hear them.
Thank you. What qualifications or experiences do you believe are necessary to effectively lead a team managing a multi-million-dollar budget?
I have, in my past life, I was a manager of data communications for the Midwest Stock Exchange. I had to write a budget for both bringing in revenue and then expenses to support the data communications industry for the stock exchange. So I did that for 5 years. I was also on the Illinois Community College Board and oversaw finances for all community colleges in the state of Illinois.
I guess that's a multi-million-dollar budget.
Yes, it is. Both of them were.
Whoa. What is your perspective on individuals who move to the community and then decide to run for public office, such as yourself?
First thing I did was get to know the community. I went out, talked to people. I went to the library to get history on Marion County, to get to know it. Went to meetings of the county commission to see how they operated, see what concerns I had and why I had those concerns. And I felt that gave me a good perspective to run for county commissioner.
Okay, I'll ask you the Robert's Rule question.
Man, I didn't study up on that.
Book for dummies.
Which takes precedence? Point of order or point of personal privilege?
Point of order.
Okay, I'll go with personal privilege.
I took a.
Watson.
I took a class at Rowan College in Orlando years and years ago, and we had a registered parliamentarian there trying to train us in Robert's Rules of Order. Point of personal privilege means you stand and you say point of personal privilege, and they have to recognize you. That takes precedence on almost anything. It's too hot in here, it's too cold in here, that sort of thing.
Okay.
First, you gotta be comfortable. So it's just one of those little fine points that I learned way back when.
Any other questions? Paul Schaefer, District 3. Thank you, Paul.
Evening, everyone. I'm Dave Thompson. I'm running for District 3 Commissioner.
How would you respond if you observed an elected official being disrespectful to a constituent?
Well, as a commissioner, I just can't tolerate that. And as someone who has felt like he's been disrespected by a public official, at first I was angry. And then I realized, that's silly. Just day or two later, needed to let it go. But and move forward. But as a commissioner, my honor is to hear the public, okay? When the public comes to these meetings, and you've all been there, 50 people here, they should have the right to speak to their public officials. 2 minutes, whatever. It's only got 10 people, it takes 20 minutes. Who cares? That's our role. And when someone would intentionally say, please sit down, or you're off, you're not on the agenda, or something like this, it's time for, what is it, a point of order? No, point of personal privilege. That this citizen is here, give him his 2 minutes, let him speak to his public officials, as long as there's not profanity or any other objectionable behavior. So that I would just we need to hear from our citizens.
Thank you. What qualifications or experiences do you believe are necessary to effectively lead a team managing a multi-million-dollar budget?
Well, I retired here in 21. I've been a taxpayer in Marion County since 16. And I've listened. You've heard me speak before. I've presented some ideas to the commission. I'm ready to go. My role as a commissioner for District 3 would be to provide the citizens with better information about what their money is doing. And how I would do that as a commissioner, I would make sure that when we have various budget presentations about what's going on with their money, we need a pie chart up on the TV, okay? I don't understand why these aren't being used, but they're there, and the public could see 12% is here, 10% is sheriff, blah, blah, blah. And then you compare that year to year, and you compare that to our total revenue and our total expenses, and you see where we might be able to get to this gentleman's answer about how to provide for our future. So I'm ready to ask questions. I'm ready to see a pie chart that shows our money, and I'm ready to adjust that pie chart or make my suggestions to the mayor to adjust that pie chart to meet our future.
Thank you. What is your perspective on individuals who move to the community and then decide to run for public office?
Citizens that to choose Marion County have made one heck of a good decision, Mayor. We've got to be listening, not speaking, to our membership and our And that's what we're here doing tonight, okay? And in order to be ready for this, we've got to listen and share our ideas and our thoughts, and we'll be ready to move into the next century with that.
Anybody else?
Please,
That's kind of a philosophical question,
that's okay.
because I came from a super liberal state of Minnesota.
Okay, I'm kind of a practical guy, so this ought to be good.
Okay, all right. The general outlook from where I came from is that every human problem has a government solution.
Oh.
And some of that philosophy creeps into the Republican Party. But free people solve their own problems apart from government. Where do you stand? Every human problem has a government solution? Or do you stand free people solve their own problems? Where do you stand?
I stand primarily to the right of me, okay? Government does have a solution, and the solution is to fix our darn water problems. And I really don't care how they get fixed. The mayors need to meet and come up with a number, okay? It's gonna cost us $1 million to fix our water problems. Okay, let's see what we can do. We have 10 million in the bank. And we fix it. And but when it comes to property rights, okay, when we talked a little bit about property rights, we need to tread carefully on that. And we need to think about those decisions. A data center in Marion County could be challenging. But an animal services department is a goal. So right there, I think we should have an animal services department. So there's a government answer to a citizen problem. That's what I got.
Okay.
Did I answer your question? I don't think so.
So you're kind of in the middle.
Kind of in the middle of it.
Okay.
I think we can find successful solutions to our problems.
Is there any more questions?
Thanks,
Is there-
everyone.
is there- wait, wait, wait. Is there any more questions for Dave? Let's give him a round of applause.
Thanks.
Okay, there's, would I like to, Senator Gardenhauer, would you like to come up and
Thanks.
chat with us real quick?
Well, I can.
Thank you for
I didn't
coming as
plan
well,
on
we
it, but
appreciate
I heard several people say, candidates here say they wanna listen to people, and that's what I wanna do when I came in and sat in the back. I just want to listen to the candidates and hear what they got to say.
Time limit.
Two, three observations from this listen. The gentleman back there mentioned transparency.
Sir, yes, sir.
I passed a bill. I'm the go-to person for the Open Records Committee in Tennessee. And we just passed a bill last year that makes it a law that any governing body has to give more than just old business, new business, thank you. They have to detail, not 5 pages long, but give a good idea of what's on the agenda ahead of time, not when you walk through the door. And make that available either through a website or hard copy if it's feasible to do it. But that's something we did, and I think everybody should be already aware of that because it was passed out by the County Services Department.
Oh, that's
How would you
wonderful.
characterize your performance on gun rights? How would you characterize your performance on gun rights agendas?
I'm chairman of Senate Judiciary, and all the gun rights bills, Second Amendment bills, anything like that has to come right through me and my committee. There's 9 members on the committee. When I agreed, after turning it down twice, to be chairman of the judiciary, there's 9 members on it. So it takes 5 votes to pass something. It takes 5 votes to kill something. And we have, every year, at least 15 to 20 different bills trying to water down our Second Amendment rights. And so far, these five have stuck together. I'm the sixth person. And, make sure those bills don't pass. I don't think I can be any stronger than that.
Next question. Go ahead. Senator, how much, I'll use the word craziness in quotes, was there about the no cell phones in schools this year, when you guys were considering that?
Well, we passed it.
I know you did, but
well-
was it disputed, or we all are just in agreement?
No, there was some pushback from, new parents, especially after a Covenant shooting type of a situation. Everybody wanted to make sure their child could, get in touch with them if an emergency happened or something like that.
Do we have that available now? Is that a local policy?
That's up to the local school boards to adopt it.
Okay.
But you and I both know that these kids are gonna be doing this while they're trying to make sure the teacher doesn't catch them.
Yeah.
That's just the facts of today's life. Nobody can put their phone down at all, driving or anything else. By the way, driving and texting is the same as having 4 beers.
Is it?
Yes.
Wow.
So you might as well get your 4 beers and go out on the highway.
Good text your girl.
Get you some retread tires, that way you have a lot of
I'll be
fun.
there in
like
10
the-
minutes.
the sheriff on
I
it.
had a guy say recently, he says, well, I saw that tree with your officer said it was doing 82 miles an hour.
Joey?
Senator Gardner, can you explain, I've been to the website a few times at the state, and it gives different, like high schools of grade, like A, B, C, D. What does that mean? Is that an average against the other schools? Say, Whitwell has a B, and Marion County had a D, and South Pittsburgh had a D or B. What does that mean?
I know your chairman and I had a long conversation today just about that.
Yes.
And he asked me if I wanted to talk about that tonight, and I said, not until I fine tune what those
And I apologize.
electrics are,
Well,
but.
would you come back and bring that state, person with us?
Don't say that.
Yeah.
I offered to try to bring somebody from Nashville, from the Department of Education, and let them explain how that formula is and what that A, B, C, D means.
That'd be perfect.
Because there's some schools, like in Hamilton County, you've got a Signal Mountain High School that's got everything in the world you could ever want in a high school. You've got a high income neighborhood, and you've got, you have demographics that's just right for good students to participate. And then you've got another high school in Chattanooga that has a different demographics, and they don't have the resources by parental involvement to match what they've got. But they may have the same grade for some reason. They may get scored on, did they have some improvement, whereas this one may be trucking along at 90%, and this one may be trucking along at 3%. And I used a perfect example to say with it. These people may go to 4% next year. Well, good grief, you've got a 30% increase, 33% increase.
Okay.
So, that doesn't, and yet they'll have a parade, and they'll have confetti come down from the gym, and everybody be high-fiving everybody. And, but you go from 3 to 4%, that's a great increase.
Well, I've got.
It doesn't mean anything.
I've got over a dozen grandchildren, a bunch of them still in school and another one on the way, so that really concerns me, since that's something I could be interested in and try to help with. And that would be great if that could happen sometime, if you could bring somebody to explain it, because a lot of us would like to know that.
Either, I'll get somebody to come down from
That'd be
Nashville
good.
that can explain it, or I'll own up on it myself and go back here and fumble through it and try to.
I appreciate
Thank
that.
you. Thank you.
September, if we can have you come back, if that works for your schedule.
I'll aim for September.
Aiming is perfect, so.
You
Because
know,
we'll try to, we'll invite everyone to come so that, I think the populace needs to be informed about how our schools are really performing.
That'd be awesome.
great.
That'd be great.
I'll aim for September.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Let's give Mr. Gardner So we're gonna get out of here now, because I know your postures have got to be getting sore. We have a November surprise that I'm real excited about telling y'all. And we also probably next month have another surprise that we got some people that are stepping up to the plate to run for office, which is a blessing, and I'm just extremely excited about it. If you're thinking about running for an office in the county, please, I won't blab it to anyone, I promise, because if you're just on the edge or thinking about it, give me a call. And like I said, I won't say, I won't tell anyone, except maybe 3 or 4 people, but no, I won't tell anyone. But we are excited about the amount of folks that, the contenders that we have that are running for these offices. We can do more, and we're gonna do more. So we'd love to have more folks to run, for sure. We need more commissioners. We need to give the public options, for sure. So that's all I have right now. Go ahead, Paul.
I want to thank everybody for coming out. It's nice. I want to see this grow ahead.
We're getting there.
Doing better.
You have done a marvelous job in bringing people out from the community
It's
into
this
our
board,
meetings.
it's not.
We need to hear what the people have to say.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Everybody bring friends next time.
Mr. Chairman, I have 2 announcements.
Oh, please.
Yes, we the people, our Constitution, we have brought a resolution, and if you'd like a copy of this, could you print it? It's just an idea, and thank you, Miss Marilyn, for helping me. And this is dated July 4th, 1776-2024. So, and we've had people sign it. It was sent to Judicial Watch and the American Conservative Caucus. The last thing I wanted to say something about was, what about activities to actually prove you're conservative and you want to see something for a good outcome in 2026? We have something called the Liberty Project. You got a bell on your farm, at your factory, down at the VFW block. I did my bell twice today. And the neighbors go, "What's all this bell?" I said, "It's called freedom." So our project is Project Freedom, and ring your bell.
Great.
Thank you. If there's anyone that needs to chat, oh, yes, sir?
Sure, if I may.
Yes.
To anyone running for office, no matter which whatever you're running for, come to the county commissioners meeting.
Yes.
Okay?
Good point.
The last election we had, 3 or 4 people never been to a county commissioner meeting.
Wow.
They never even let us know they were running for office. I went down, checked, and saw, no, they are Republicans, they're running. And come and hear what's going on, so you will see some of the negative and the positive, because there is some of both, but you need to participate. If there's a business opening and there's a ribbon cutting, show up for it, okay? Before I ran for office, I knew where they're gonna take the picture. I got in the middle. He's sticking out there, okay? But let people see you're out there. Let them see you are a part of the community.
When is the commissioner meeting?
Yes, the commission meeting.
When is it?
The fourth.
Fourth Monday.
Fourth Monday is every month here.
Yeah, it's like.
And Steve,
And if you
doesn't
have
that
any-
give recognition that people will say, "Oh, that guy's for that business, and they run a good conservative show." Wow.
We have a lot of expertise here. We've got prior commissioners with Mr. Blevins. We have prior folks that were chairmen of the GOP. Ms. Julian Cash is here. Steve Franklin is one of our board members. There's a lot of people you can go to if you have questions, you don't feel comfortable. If I give you the creepies, talk to them, okay? So, but thank you for coming. And